honestly, when I was your age, I thought one of the biggest injustices was why everyone, especially someone like me, couldn't afford post-secondary opportunity. And I thought it would not be right to commit to all the things that I do like you are as a high school student, not knowing what my opportunities were going to be, because there are in many ways that were constrained by cost. And so here today, we want to discuss with you some things we've done at the state level, along with help from the General Assembly and the governor and others, to remove that barrier and make college absolutely accessible to all of you. So I'm excited about this conversation. How many of you in here know whether or not you can go to, I'm going to make this up, just any state university, maybe Salem State University. I'll just grab a, for free. For free. How many of you heard? You have? What did you hear? What's the rumor? Can you share it with me?
So since I'm Pell eligible, I'll be able to go into any state school that I want to. So yeah.
That is absolutely true. And you know, when we do these conversations, not everybody answers the question as eloquently and as precise as you have. You know, college is free at a 4-year level at the public universities. You can go to a community college as well. And you can go there tuition free is what we like to say, because it covers all your costs for tuition and fees. But it also gives you additional money to be able to afford books and other supplies. It could be up to $2,400 that you would get to be able to do that. And that makes a complete difference to the kind of opportunities that you have available. So in Massachusetts, more than 70% of the jobs are going to require some sort of post-secondary credential. That could be a PhD, like you're going to get in neurology, but that could also be a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree, or some other certificate that gets you into that pathway, right? What we tell people is in your lifetime, if you choose to go to college and you get a bachelor's degree, over your lifetime, you will make $1 million more than someone who doesn't have that degree. If somebody had told me that early on, it would have really incentivized me, but that's not it. Sure, your earning potential goes up, but your health improves. You end up doing things that get you more involved in your community and doing more and more because of the opportunity to get educated. So there's plenty of examples of why you should go, but we just want to make sure that you know right off the bat that we are eliminating the financial barrier that many of you may have felt exists, right?
You just heard about all of the incredible advancements in financial aid, right? It's been doubled in the past 2 years, $500 million. You can attend a 2-year school in Massachusetts, any one of the 15 community colleges, tuition and fee-free. You can attend any one of the 4-year schools, the 9 state universities and the 4 UMasses, either tuition and fee-free or with half of your out-of-pocket expenses taken care of. It does require FAFSA completion, right? And that we are finding, which is why we are engaging in this road show and having conversations, we're finding students are not completing that at the rates that we would like to see. So we're thinking from a statewide perspective, what can the state do differently in supporting schools to make sure that as many students as possible can access all of these incredible benefits. The FAFSA completion challenge, what are your suggestions? What are your recommendations to us? What are thoughts about things you all can do to help us get more students to complete?
My FAFSA was very complicated because my parents don't really believe in FAFSA. They think it's a scam and that they're going to have to pay everything out of their pocket. Same thing with CSS profiles and stuff. So I think it's really useful. It will be really useful to introduce it to them way earlier.
Because my mom was also like skeptical about the CSS profile because she had to drop in on her like taxes or social security, and she just wasn't like feeling it. And it took a while to like get all the information from her.
And especially with our community, since most of us are first generation kids and we're coming from like these countries, most of them most parents are trying to survive, so they don't even have time to communicate with their kids about important things. And one thing that really helps, that I've seen help, is when other people like help the kids or teach the kids about certain things that the parents can't teach because they don't have the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that can also help with what Angel said with his problem about like when he was a freshman and he didn't know like about these things. I feel like it should be something that should be communicated even in 8th grade year.
Yeah.
So that once you're in your junior, senior year, it's not so much of a learning process. It's more so you know what we have to do, now we're doing it.
Also talking about financial literacy and talking about FAFSA, CSS profile within the early college program will be very helpful because you're taking your free college classes, and then if somebody tells you, oh, you can keep doing this after you graduate if you do this form, like the FAFSA, or if you do the CSS, you can continue doing that after high school. I think it would really encourage students and parents to fill out those forms that might seem scary sometimes.
Yeah, indeed. That is a great pickup, and really thrilled to hear that so many of you are engaged with early college. Big believer in it, as is your governor, as evidenced by the proposal she's made in her budget that the legislature has promulgated. We're talking, going back to my first year in a row, I think it was about a $13 million increase, bringing it up to about $42 million for early college program, as well as innovation career pathways. But there's deep support for the early college programming in this state because we know what it does and the data tells us everything that we need to know, but we also hear directly from students how transformational that experience really is. I've heard a lot about parents, mom, dad, caregiver, and their need to be on board with your plans. I have a question about reaching them. Who do they trust? Who do they listen to? Oh, okay. Yeah, right up. I know. Go ahead.
They listen to people that speak their language. So if
Okay,
your mom's Hispanic, she speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
If she goes to school and someone's speaking to her fluent Spanish and Dominican, you know how they talk.
There's trust. Okay.
So much trust and they click immediately. And that's who they'll listen to.
I think that not only who my parents trust, but who has tried to gain my parents' trust as well. Like who has really tried to invest into my parents and like actually make time for my parents. Things like that. My parents are very like hard to gain their trust when it's about other people, especially after we moved to this country. So I think that if we have someone who like really tries to invest into our parents, that would help a lot.
Did you say your mom does not believe that?
Like, I mean, she tries, but like, again, it's language barrier, and then sometimes she just doesn't understand. Again, like my dad, he didn't finish high school, so there's still certain things like he doesn't understand. So you have to break it down for, like I have to read the email and break it down for him. So like again, it's not even more so like some parents don't want to be involved. It's just they don't know how to. Sometimes we host things like this where parents can come, hear about new things that are happening with our schools, but they just don't know, don't get the information, or just never heard about it. So I think we should have a better way of communicating with parents, either via like announcements through social media, or like just hearing it on the news station. My Facebook. You can get a lot of Facebook. Listen, my mom follows the Lord. There you go. So so whatever. Like even through the radio station.
The radio is very
The radio station. My parents love the radio station.
I'm listening to the brilliance that's in this room, and I'm inspired. But I'm also confident because we also put a problem out there for you to think about, which is that the challenge we have about FAFSA completion. So we'll leave some of that in your capable hands, but our ask is that you continue to think about in your social circles, amongst your peers, really spreading the information. Thank you all for your time. Really appreciate it. Great meeting you all.